Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Avery Azar. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Assistant Director for the Master of Environmental Studies program at the Evergreen State College. Joining me today is our Program Assistant, Sam.
Hi, my name is Sam Nanetti. I use she, her pronouns, and I am ready to get started.
Awesome. So today we're going to be showing you a tutorial on how to format your page numbers per the guidelines of your MES thesis document. You may have read the guidelines for formatting your document in your thesis handbook. And maybe it looks just absolutely crazy and you've never had to transition from blank pages to Roman numerals to Arabic numbers and this is just a tutorial to help you get through some of the issues that can kind of arise. Definitely, feel free to reach out to us at any time if you're kind of messing with your document and it just becomes too time consuming to figure out what's wrong. But hopefully this tutorial kind of gives you a leg up in that process. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with thesis template. So these are one of the templates that are available on the thesis process page. So you have the option of having standard margins, so that's 1-inch margins all the way around your document. Then you could certainly just use standard margins, or you could use mirror margins. And mirror margins are great if you want to print, front and back, and you want to bind your thesis. So if you do want to bind your thesis document, you want to always make sure that along the spine, you're going to have 1.5-inch spacing. And this is because the binding process eats about 1/2 of the page, 1/2 inch of the page on the left-hand side from your document if you're looking at it straight on. So if you're not planning to bind your thesis, then you could go by this tutorial right now. And this tutorial is just going to use standard margins. So that means that all of our page numbers are going to be on the bottom right-hand corner. Versus if you're doing mirror margins, then your page numbers need to alternate front and back, so left and right, okay? So this is for standard margins, 1-inch margins all the way around. Your first 4 pages of this document are going to not have any page numbers. Usually to kind of start this off, you're going to want to designate in your footers a different first page. And this is really because your title page is sort of a separate entity. You don't count your title page as one of the pages in your document. So what Sam is doing is going to the insert tab. And so that Sam has opened up the insert ribbon. And along the insert ribbon, Sam is going to the footer. And I will just preface that Sam is using a Mac. And so for those Mac users out there, this is going to look really familiar. And if you are on a PC, it is the same, but your page numbers and your insert footer is actually on the left side of this ribbon. Sam is opening up the footer ribbon. And so now what that has done is it's opened up the header and footer tab. And for a lot of the PC users, you might see that it's called a design tab. So this allows you to kind of modify any of the features inside of your footer. So Sam is going up to the top, and there is a little checkbox that you can check that designates the different first page. And so Sam is going to check that. So whatever you do to this first page in regards to the footer, it will not alter like any of the pages that come after it. And then same thing, if you do anything to the pages after your title page, it's not going to affect this first page. So that can be really helpful, just knowing that your first page is going to be untouched no matter what you do. So then we're not, in this tutorial, we're not going to designate different odd even pages because we're not doing mirror margins, but we are going to create another video for those of you who do want to do mirror margins and maybe would like to have a bound thesis copy. So we will definitely go over how to do that. So for this one, we're just focusing on page numbers and placing them in the bottom right hand corner. So then we're going to go down to, we'll close the footer for now, and we'll go down to your table of contents page. So the page just before your table of contents, which is your abstract page. And what Sam is going to do is Sam is going to insert page breaks or section breaks, really. So this is something that is really beneficial for those who want to have, again, different text or different types of page numbers on different pages without altering the sections before it. So for the section coming after your abstract, you're going to have Roman numerals, but you want to keep your abstract and up to your title page without any page numbers, right? So Sam is going to put in a section break by going to the layout tab and going into the layout ribbon. And Sam has, I think we're on a Zoom share screen right now. So Sam has actually dropped down the section breaks menu, but it's not showing up as a pop-up. So just know that when you click on the breaks, the section breaks menu, it'll drop down and give you some options. Can you read off the options, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely. The options are going to be, the first section says page breaks, and that is page and column, and that just drops it down to the next page. That's not what we're doing right now. The next one says section breaks, and the one that you want to choose to designate the footer sections is going to say next page, and it says insert a section break and start the new section on the next page, and that is what we want to do.
That's what Sam's going to do right now is Sam is inserting a section break right after the text of the abstract. So in your document, you're going to have a great text there. Oh, and that's a great feature, Sam, right there. So Sam just turned on the show hide button. So it looks like a little musical note on your home ribbon. And when you turn that on, it shows you where all of the sort of hidden edits that you've made to your document are located. So when Sam like actually inserted a section break, it didn't look like it did anything, but then Sam turned on the show hide button and it showed us now where a section break is. And this can be so helpful when you're going through your document, and if you've made some modifications to the formatting, but then you're starting to change things and you're not quite sure why the document is modifying itself in these different ways. Turning on the show hide button can show you where some of your hidden features are. So oh, okay, I didn't need a section break there. I can just delete it. Or I did need a section break, and that's why my Roman numerals are talking to my title page, which are talking to my literature review, and it's so it can be very helpful that way. So we're going to scroll down now, and we're going to start on our table of contents page. And this sometimes happens where it gives you a long sort of like leader on the next page, because it's saying, oh, we're going to start our next section on the next page, and it just drops everything down. So you just move everything back up again. And then Sam is going to open up the footer on the table of contents page. And then here, because we're just doing single-sided margins, standard margins, all of our page numbers will be located on the bottom right-hand corner. So Sam is now going to go up to the page number feature And again, it's a drop-down menu. Sam, would you be able to tell us what features it offers?
Yeah, sure. The first one's going to say page number. That is going to open up the box to go ahead and add the page number. And then the second one says format page numbers. And that one's going to help you change it into Roman numerals.
Awesome. So Sam has opened up the page numbers format. And here, Sam is going to designate that we're going to use the number format Roman numeral, and always the lowercase Roman numeral, because it does give you an uppercase one. And then Sam is going to say start at IV. So that's going to be Roman numeral 4. So and we're starting at 4 because this is the official page number 4, because your title page doesn't count. So title page is more like 0, if you can kind of think about it that way. So we're starting at IV here.
And then after you format it, you're going to click page number again and then click page number. And it should give you this option of where you want it to be. And in this case, we're going to do it on the right-hand side.
And so these are some of the features for Mac. For PC users, what you're going to find is that the page number drop-down menu will actually give you options for how you want to place your page numbers on a page. So it'll say, bottom left, bottom right, middle, and you'll want to, in this case, designate bottom right, and then you want to go into format page numbers on a PC, and then that will allow you to designate the Roman numerals and where it's going to start, what Roman numeral number it will start at. So Sam has IV in the bottom right-hand corner of the table of contents page, which is great. And then, so Sam is looking at this section called link to previous in the header and footer tab up top. So the link to previous button is something to watch out for. So we're gonna disclaimer, link to previous is just such a pain sometimes. So what this will do, if it is turned on, that means your table of contents section, so your table of contents is starting a new section, right? Because you said in the previous section that you wanted a section break. So when link to previous is turned on, your table of contents page is now talking to the previous section. And your previous section, you wanted to designate as without page numbers. So this can be a challenge. So this is something just to watch out for. If it's linked, then that means that whatever you're starting to do may in this section, it may affect the previous section. So if you encounter some weird issues, always check to see whether or not your footer is linked to the previous section. Just can't stress that enough. that can solve all your problems. And then, of course, Sam is going to make sure that this is Times New Roman 12-point font. And this is that's our standard for this document type. And then we're gonna scroll down some more, and we're gonna see, hopefully, that we have what we wanted to see is page number Roman numeral 5. And so Sam is gonna go into header and footer. Yeah, there you go. And we see that the link to previous section is currently turned on. So we're going to turn it off, and then Sam, and then this is just a part of the process. You may encounter some errors like this where we're not quite sure why the Roman numeral 5 didn't show up on the next page, right? So Sam is going to go in and just go ahead and insert manually a Roman numeral 5.
And it actually showed up when I just added a page number to it. So sometimes this happens too, where you don't have to manually enter it. It catches up with you later. So. All right, let's see what it's talking about on here.
It's still Calibri.
It is still Calibri. This is something you'll have to do sometimes 2 or 3 times too. It just doesn't want it. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
And then it looks like.
Oh, and there it is.
There it is.
Awesome.
All the way to acknowledgement.
7, awesome.
And then it will continue right here, but that's because we don't have another section break. So we're going to have to enter that in under acknowledgements.
Awesome. So anytime you're entering a section break, you want to do it after all the text on your previous page, but you don't want to put it on the same page as your new section, right? So Sam is going to go in and is going to say, you know, that that option of section break, begin new section on next page.
And then once again, it kind of does that thing where it's like, oh, you just go back and you delete all of these just to put the text back up to the top where you want it. And sometimes it gives you one more, so you just gotta delete and then recenter everything.
Okay, awesome. So then, oh, we're gonna drop that down. And so here on the very first page, so this says on our end, it says text, but this is where you're going to start your introduction. So your introduction is going to be the first page where you're using Arabic numbers. So you want to designate this page as number 1. And so Sam is going to go in and use the footer features. And it says right now that it is currently a link to the previous section, so we want to unlink it. So Sam's going to go ahead and uncheck that box. We don't want it talking to our Roman numeral pages. So then Sam is going into the page numbers options and is formatting the page numbers. So again, we're going to change it. So now it is Arabic numbers. So it's starting on page number 1. And we're going to tell it to start on page 1 instead of page 4. Okay, so now we've got page number 1 on the first page of your introduction to your thesis document. And so then the pages that come after that should just all be Arabic numbers. Okay, so those are the only page number modifications that you should have to make, just really at the beginning of the document, because everything else will be Arabic. And then what we're going to do, and always do this, you're going to go back up to the top and you're going to check on your previous sections to make sure that they didn't get modified when you were making these changes. That's the most important thing. So now we have, that's Roman numeral 6 and 5 and 4 and, oh, and then look at that. We have a 4 on our, it's going to be our acknowledgements page. So something is linked, right? That's what it's telling us. So something is linked here. And because our first page is our title page, it's a different first page. Let's go up and make sure that it's not talking to it to Sam, just in case. It shouldn't have anything on it. And it does. So what we want to do is we're going to try to go back through the document, because it means the first section and the third section are talking to each other, but nothing is talking to the second section. So that's good, at least. You may encounter some of these issues when you are formatting your document, and so we're gonna troubleshoot right now.
And I think right here, so you know that this is all the first section. And then abstract should be part of the first section too, because you're looking at these numbers right here to see like who's talking to who.
So what we'll do is click on the page numbers at the bottom of the footers, and we're going to see if the link to previous button is checked when we click on those page numbers. So we're going to go down to each of those page numbers, and sometimes this can feel a little tedious. But we're going to make sure that everything is unlinked from the separate sections. Okay, so page number 1 is not linked to the previous section, so we know that for sure, right? Oh, and page number 2 looks like it is. We want to uncheck that. And page number 3 is not. And neither is page number 4. So now that we have unchecked page number 2, we can go back to the very top and we can try to delete the page numbers that have appeared on the first 4 pages of this document. And we want to try to take them away. So, and then see if we can, if the rest of the document remains as is. Okay, and then it took away the preceding pages because our first page was designated as different, right? And then we're going to scroll down and we're going to see if everything else remains the same. Okay, so Roman numeral 4, we're good there on table of contents. And then Roman numeral 5, 6, 7, and then here we should have 1. Oh, there we go. 2, 3, 4. Awesome. So definitely check that link to previous button for each of your page numbers. Check on it. Make sure that it's not linked if it's not supposed to be linked, right? So then when you go through and you're modifying things, always go back up to the top and go back down to the bottom and make sure that everything is as it should be. So this is just going to be something you want to keep in mind, in the back of your mind as you're going through and editing your document. It is really helpful. I think the questions we get a lot of times are, when should I put in my page numbers? And I think it's really helpful actually to immediately put your page numbers in and your table of contents, just like if you check out the other video on how to create a table of contents on our YouTube page. The table of contents and designating your page numbers can actually help you navigate through your thesis document as you're working on it. So you may be pursuing a different type of methodology for maybe writing sections in another Word document and then pasting them into a master document like that actually has all of the formatting that you are kind of hoping to keep in line with the guidelines. And if you are working in a master document like this, it can be incredibly helpful to just go ahead and designate those page numbers and create that table of contents and use the navigation pane. And let's just review really quick how folks can find the navigation pane, Sam. So if you're going into the review and into view, excuse me, usually right here, you're going to have this navigation pane option. And if you have designated a table of contents, when you click on navigation pane, you will have the ability to actually go through your thesis document by clicking on that little icon that Sam is showing you right there. What that would do is it would give you a list view of all of the section headers that you've designated in this document. So that allows you to just kind of click on whatever section you want to work on for that day or for maybe an hour, and without having to like scroll through your document, which oftentimes are between 50 and 150 pages. So that can be really helpful. So go ahead and get your formatting in, and when you do it the first time around, it sort of just gets it out of the way. But if you have any issues, definitely feel free to reach out to us.